So I'm in Fargo, North Dakota, which is considered the most dangerous city in North Dakota. And maybe by North Dakota standards it's dangerous, but by American standards it is not. This is the most populated city in the state with 137,000 people. And it's the only city in North Dakota with over 100,000 people. The population of the entire state of North Dakota is only 790,000. And that ranks them 47th in the United States as far as population goes. It's 48% female and 52% male here, which I always find that odd when the male-female ratio is off by that much. So either the women just move out or more men just move in. It's 77% white, 9% black, and 4% Asian. So it's a little diverse, not too diverse, but a little diverse. And they have somewhere between 3 and 7 murders a year for the last 10 years, which gives them a murder rate that's below 5. So that's really good. When they are at around 10, that's what I put as regular city levels, regular city bad levels, when it's right around 10. So being at 5 or below, which is what they're at, is really good. Their assault rates in 2022 were at their highest at around 400, which is starting to get up there. Chicago's in the 500s, so it's better than that. But prior to 2022, it was mostly in the 200 to 300 range, which again would just be, low regular city stuff. Stuff you'd expect living in a city, nothing major. And, those are still good numbers as far as assault rates go. Their violent crime here is 67% worse than the national average, which is really good for a city of this size especially. I consider something that's around 100% worse to be regular city bad. So anytime something's in that regular city bad level or in that 100%-ish level, I'm just like, yeah, that's regular city stuff. And that's kind of what it is. So this is, it's still regular city bad, but on the better end of the regular city bad. And their year-over-year crime is down 2%. So the crime that got bad after COVID, every city, pretty much any major city, the crime got bad. And so they're showing at least a decline since the numbers, like 2021 numbers were really bad for almost everywhere. So they're showing at least a decline. So they're getting back to where they were pre the summer of Floyd anyway. And so far, like just looking at the city, I haven't seen any graffiti. There was a little garbage when I was first starting to come into the city, but now that you're closer and into the kind of the downtown area, you don't see any real garbage of any type, which is pretty good for a city of this size to not have garbage, because a lot of times I've found the larger the city gets, the less people care, or the more people you have there that don't care, and you have, areas where there's just a lot of garbage and a lot of graffiti because the people don't care. But you can see just looking at this just how clean it actually is. The cost of living here is good as well. The services are lower, or listed as being lower, and things like housing, though, are on the higher side. Well, higher than the national average. They're not really high, but higher than the national average. But as far as things like gas and food and stuff like that, they're better than the national average. This end of town looks like it's kind of, some of it's closed down. Yeah, a lot of this end of town looks like things have closed up. The schools here, you know, like all schools in America, 45% of the kids graduate proficient at reading and math. North Dakota's 44% on average. So it's better than the North Dakota average, but below the 48% US average. So the US average is horrible. Fargo is worse than that, but better than North Dakota as a whole. So that's a good sign. And what is actually good though here, which you don't always see in cities, 90% of the people that live here have a high school diploma. 90%. Doesn't sound like a lot. You think, how can it not be 95 or, you know, almost even 100% of people? But 90% of the people have a high school diploma here. And a lot of cities, especially cities that are bad cities, the percentage is closer to like 75, maybe up as high as 80. But a lot of the bad cities, let's get out of this lane. A lot of the bad cities have a low level of people that, or a low number of people that have a high school diploma. So it's a good thing, at least for the city, that even though they're only graduating, what was it, 45%? Of the students being proficient at reading and math, they're graduating 90% of the students that come through. So they don't have a huge dropout rate, I guess, anyway. But it's kind of a nice city. I wanted to drive through it and take a look at it and just throw the stats out there for you so you can see what the worst city in, not worst city, the most dangerous city in North Dakota looks like. And I wouldn't personally call it dangerous at all. You could walk down the streets here, I'm sure pretty much any of the streets at night and not have any problems. And the assault rates, the murder rate's really low, and that's a good thing. When the assault rates start going up, like they showed the increase to 400% in 2022, when the assault rates start going up, it can be a number of things. During COVID, when everything was locked down, the numbers were generally okay as far as assault rates and stuff like that in cities in general across America. The numbers were generally okay. They were higher than what they were from 2019, but they were generally okay that year. It was 2021 where everything just took off and things got really bad. And some cities continued to get bad into 2022, and some got better immediately in 2022 after you got rid of, you know, once you got past that, everybody, the freedom from the COVID lockdowns and everybody going just crazy and, you know, doing whatever they wanted to do. But we're just going to drive through a little bit further into town for a little bit longer just to see if we come up with something that makes it look like anything, you know, any area that looks like maybe something's bad here. But I don't think we're really going to find anything. It's by all accounts a good, safe city. And if you're looking for a place to live that's a decent sized city in a very safe state, this would be a good place to go to. Oh, there we see some graffiti. There we see some in that alley right there. There's some. And some in that alley to the right. So they got some. They got kids doing that stuff. Yep, right there on the side of the building too. So it's not completely immune to all that, but it's and there's some litter too. 1 water bottle. But you can find that everywhere, and I'm like actually looking for it right now. I'm looking to see if I can find stuff, but for the most part, I don't think if you, I don't want to sit at this light either. I think you'd have to really try to find bad stuff about this city. I mean, I'm trying and I'm barely finding anything. All right, well, I'm gonna keep driving through this downtown just a little bit, and I'll let this play out, but this is Fargo, North Dakota, and it's the most dangerous city in the state of North Dakota.